Picture this. Sarah sits at her kitchen table staring at her blood glucose meter in disbelief. The number glowing back at her reads 287 mg/dl. Just 2 years ago, she was the picture of health, running marathons and eating what she thought was a balanced diet. Now, at 42, she's facing a diagnosis that terrifies her more than anything else ever has: type 2 diabetes. Her doctor hands her a prescription and tells her this is just the beginning of a lifelong battle with medications, constant monitoring, and the slow deterioration of her body. But what if everything she's been told about managing diabetes is incomplete? What if there's a simple, natural solution hiding in plain sight that could change everything? You see, diabetes isn't just about blood sugar. It's not even really about insulin resistance, though that's part of the story. The real culprit is something happening deep inside your cells, in tiny powerhouses called mitochondria, where a silent war is being fought every single day. Most people think diabetes is about eating too much sugar or being overweight, but that's like saying a house fire is caused by smoke. You're looking at the symptom, not the source. The truth is, your cells are literally starving for energy while drowning in glucose, and there's a specific reason why this metabolic chaos happens. It's a reason that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to understand, because it would make their billion-dollar medications obsolete. Every day, millions of Americans wake up and unknowingly sabotage their body's ability to process glucose naturally. They think they're making healthy choices, but they're actually feeding the very mechanism that drives diabetes deeper into their system. The scary part? Most doctors don't even know about this connection because they're trained to treat symptoms, not root causes. While you're counting carbs and checking blood sugar, the real problem is multiplying in your cells like a runaway train, and traditional medicine is completely missing it. Here's what's really happening inside your body right now. Think of your cells like busy factories that need fuel to operate. Glucose is supposed to be the premium fuel that powers these factories efficiently. But when certain cellular pathways get damaged, it's like having broken fuel lines in your factory. The glucose can't get where it needs to go, so it backs up in your bloodstream while your cells send out desperate hunger signals. Your pancreas, trying to help, pumps out more and more insulin, like a frantic manager shouting orders at workers who can't hear him. This creates a vicious cycle where your body produces insulin, but your cells can't use it properly, leading to the metabolic nightmare we call diabetes. The cellular damage I'm talking about starts with something called oxidative stress, which is like rust forming inside your body. When your mitochondria, those cellular powerhouses I mentioned, get overwhelmed by this internal rusting process, they can't convert glucose into energy efficiently. It's like trying to run a high-performance engine with contaminated fuel and clogged filters. The engine sputters, overheats, and eventually breaks down. That's exactly what happens to your glucose metabolism. Your body's energy production system becomes so compromised that even normal amounts of food cause dangerous blood sugar spikes. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your body has a natural repair system for this cellular damage, a built-in maintenance crew that can actually reverse this process and restore normal glucose metabolism. The problem is, modern life has essentially put this repair system to sleep. Processed foods, chronic stress, environmental toxins, and even some medications create such an overwhelming burden of oxidative damage that your natural healing mechanisms can't keep up. It's like having a small maintenance crew trying to repair a massive industrial accident. They're completely overwhelmed and falling further behind every day. Now, if you're like most people dealing with blood sugar issues, you're probably making these critical mistakes without even realizing it. First, you're eating foods marketed as diabetic-friendly that are actually making your condition worse. Those sugar-free products loaded with artificial sweeteners? They're disrupting your gut bacteria and increasing insulin resistance. The whole grain breads and cereals you think are healthy choices? They're causing massive glucose spikes that stress your already overworked pancreas. Even some fruits that are supposedly good for diabetics are loaded with fructose that goes straight to your liver and gets converted into fat, worsening insulin resistance. Second, you're probably eating at the wrong times, which is like throwing gasoline on a fire. Most people eat their largest meal at dinner when their metabolism is naturally slowing down for the night. This forces your body to process a huge glucose load when it's least equipped to handle it. Your cells are preparing for rest and repair, but instead, they're getting bombarded with energy they can't use, leading to fat storage and worsening blood sugar control. Third, and this might shock you, you're likely drinking beverages that are sabotaging your glucose metabolism even if they contain no sugar at all. Diet sodas, energy drinks, and even some bottled waters contain chemicals that interfere with your body's ability to regulate blood sugar naturally. These substances act like tiny wrenches thrown into the delicate machinery of glucose metabolism, causing unpredictable spikes and crashes that leave you feeling exhausted and craving more food. The fourth mistake is thinking that exercise alone will fix your blood sugar problems. While movement is crucial, the type and timing of exercise matters enormously. Most people do long, steady cardio thinking it will help with diabetes. But this actually increases oxidative stress and can make insulin resistance worse. It's like trying to put out a fire with a garden hose when what you really need is a precise, targeted approach. Here's the science that will change how you think about diabetes forever. Inside your cells, there are specialized structures called peroxisomes that act like cellular recycling centers. When these structures are functioning properly, they break down fatty acids and neutralize harmful compounds that interfere with glucose metabolism. Think of them as your body's internal cleanup crew, constantly working to maintain the perfect environment for energy production. But when peroxisomes become overwhelmed or damaged, they can't do their job effectively. Toxic byproducts accumulate, cellular membranes become rigid, and insulin receptors stop working properly. It's like having a recycling center that's so backed up with garbage that it can't process new waste. The entire system becomes clogged and inefficient. Now here's where it gets fascinating. There's a specific type of fat that acts like a master key to unlock your body's natural glucose regulation system. This fat doesn't just provide energy, it actually signals your cells to repair and regenerate their glucose processing machinery. When you consume this particular fat in the right amount and the right way, it triggers a cascade of healing responses that can literally reverse the cellular damage underlying diabetes. This fat works by activating something called PPRs, which are like molecular switches that control how your cells handle glucose and fat. When these switches are turned on, your cells become incredibly efficient at burning glucose for energy instead of storing it as fat. Your insulin sensitivity improves dramatically, your blood sugar stabilizes, and your energy levels soar. It's like upgrading from a broken-down old car to a high-performance sports car that runs perfectly on regular fuel. Are you ready for this revelation? The solution that could transform your relationship with diabetes forever comes from an unexpected source that's been hiding in plain sight. For decades, the medical establishment has demonized saturated fats, telling us they cause heart disease and worsen diabetes. But cutting-edge research is revealing that one specific type of saturated fat actually reverses insulin resistance and restores normal glucose metabolism. I'm talking about medium-chain triglycerides, specifically lauric acid and caprylic acid, found in their highest concentrations in coconut oil. But here's the shocking part that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know. These fats bypass normal digestion and go straight to your liver, where they're immediately converted into ketones. These ketones act like premium fuel for your brain and muscles, while simultaneously triggering the repair of damaged mitochondria and the restoration of normal insulin function. The reason you haven't heard about this from your doctor is simple. You can't patent coconut oil. There's no money to be made from a natural substance that's been used safely for thousands of years. Instead, the medical system profits from keeping you dependent on expensive medications that treat symptoms while ignoring the root cause. It's a trillion-dollar industry built on managing disease rather than curing it. But the science is undeniable. Studies show that people who consume 2 tablespoons of virgin coconut oil daily experience significant improvements in insulin sensitivity, fasting glucose levels, and hemoglobin A1C within just 12 weeks. The medium-chain fats literally reprogram your cellular metabolism, switching your body from a glucose-dependent system that's prone to dysfunction to a flexible, efficient energy system that can handle carbohydrates without dangerous spikes. What makes this even more powerful is that coconut oil doesn't just improve glucose metabolism. It reduces inflammation, supports healthy cholesterol levels, boosts brain function, and even helps with weight loss. It's like getting a complete metabolic makeover from one simple, natural food. So what actually works to reverse diabetes naturally? First, you need to consume exactly 2 tablespoons of virgin coconut oil daily, but timing and method matter enormously. Take 1 tablespoon first thing in the morning on an empty stomach to kickstart your metabolism and provide steady energy throughout the day. Take the second tablespoon about 30 minutes before your largest meal to optimize glucose processing and prevent blood sugar spikes. But coconut oil is just the foundation. You also need to support your body's natural healing process with specific nutrients that repair cellular damage. Alpha-lipoic acid acts like a master antioxidant that regenerates other antioxidants and improves insulin sensitivity. Chromium helps insulin work more effectively at the cellular level. Cinnamon extract contains compounds that mimic insulin and help glucose enter cells more efficiently. The timing of your meals becomes crucial too. Practice intermittent fasting by eating within an 8-hour window and fasting for 16 hours. This gives your pancreas time to rest and recover while triggering autophagy, your body's natural cellular cleanup process. During your eating window, focus on whole foods that support stable blood sugar. Leafy greens, wild-caught fish, grass-fed meat, nuts, seeds, and low-glycemic vegetables. Movement also plays a vital role, but not the way most people think. Instead of long cardio sessions that increase stress hormones, do short bursts of high-intensity exercise followed by adequate recovery. Even a 10-minute walk after meals can dramatically improve glucose uptake by muscles and prevent blood sugar spikes. Sleep quality affects blood sugar more than most people realize. Poor sleep disrupts hormones that regulate glucose metabolism, making diabetes worse. Create a dark, cool environment, avoid screens before bed, and aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep nightly. Let me tell you about Michael, a 58-year-old construction worker who came to our clinic with a hemoglobin A1C of 9.2 and fasting glucose levels consistently over 200. He'd been on metformin for 3 years, but his numbers kept getting worse. His doctor wanted to add insulin injections, and Michael felt like he was facing a death sentence. He'd watched his father lose his leg to diabetic complications, and the fear was consuming him. Michael was skeptical when we suggested such a simple approach, but he was desperate enough to try anything. We started him on 2 tablespoons of virgin coconut oil daily, along with the nutritional support and lifestyle changes I mentioned. Within the first week, he noticed his energy levels improving dramatically. He wasn't experiencing the afternoon crashes that had plagued him for years. By week 4, his morning blood sugar readings had dropped from the 200s to the 150s. His wife noticed he was sleeping better and had stopped snoring, a sign that his metabolism was improving. At his 8-week checkup, his fasting glucose was 128, and he'd lost 15 pounds without trying. But the real transformation came at 12 weeks when his lab results showed a hemoglobin A1C of 6.8, down from 9.2. His doctor was amazed and agreed to reduce his medication dosage. 6 months later, Michael's A1C was 5.9, well within the normal range. He'd lost 35 pounds, his energy was through the roof, and he felt 20 years younger. Most importantly, he'd broken the cycle of fear and dependency that diabetes had created in his life. He went from feeling like a victim of his genetics to understanding that he had the power to heal his body naturally. Michael's story isn't unique. We've seen hundreds of people reverse their diabetes using this approach. The key is understanding that diabetes isn't a life sentence. It's a metabolic dysfunction that can be corrected when you address the root cause rather than just managing symptoms. Here's what I want you to understand with absolute clarity. Your body is designed to heal itself when given the right tools and environment. Diabetes doesn't have to be a progressive disease that slowly destroys your health and vitality. You have the power to take control of your metabolism and restore normal glucose function naturally. The 2 tablespoons of coconut oil I've shared with you today could be the key that unlocks your body's healing potential. But it's not just about the oil, it's about understanding that you are not broken, you are not defective, and you are not destined to suffer. Your body is incredibly intelligent and capable of profound healing when you work with it instead of against it. Start tomorrow morning with 1 tablespoon of virgin coconut oil and begin this journey back to metabolic health. Your future self will thank you for having the courage to try something different, something natural, something that actually addresses the cause rather than just masking the symptoms. Don't let another day pass feeling helpless about your health. Take action. Share this information with someone you care about, and let me know in the comments how this approach works for you. Subscribe for more life-changing health insights that the medical establishment doesn't want you to know. Remember, your health is your greatest wealth, and you have more control over it than you've ever been told. The power to heal is already within you.